You're listening to the Digest This podcast, and I'm your host, Bethany Cameron. Today, we're going to talk about 6 benefits of creatine for women specifically, because I think there's a huge misconception that creatine is only for men or that the only benefit is muscle. But there's tons of other benefits that I want to get into today. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's Bite of Knowledge. Constipation is something no one is willing to admit, but over 33 million people suffer in silence, along with the accompanying conditions such as bloating and feeling of fullness. And when you're constipated, toxins build up in your system, causing skin issues, headaches, brain fog, and even weight gain. In fact, weight gain is directly associated with poor gut health. So not only does our immune system stem from our gut, but also the way we look on the outside. I am always recommending Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic to anyone who needs gut support, constipated, or even has loose stools. Regularity is something we need to take seriously. And what if it could all be helped by one simple capsule you take daily? I'd be 100% in if I were you. And honestly, what have you got to lose? Go to seed.com/digest and use my code 20digest for 20% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic. That's seed.com/digest and use the code 20digest to get 20% off. A large 2022 meta-analysis found that people who consumed the highest amount of olive oil were 31% less likely to develop cancer. This may be due to the antioxidants in olive oil, which may help reduce oxidative damage caused by free radicals, which is a leading driver of cancer. A 2023 study found that olive oil was linked with lower inflammatory markers in people with rheumatoid arthritis, especially for more severe disease activity. Olive oil contains compounds that may inhibit and even kill harmful bacteria. One of these is H. pylori, which is a bacterium that lives in your stomach and may cause stomach ulcers and even stomach cancer. Studies have found that extra virgin olive oil may help fight against certain strains of this bacterium. Needless to say, start taking olive oil daily, but don't just pick any olive oil off the fluorescent lit store shelves, because all the beneficial compounds I just mentioned are most likely gone, rancid, and oxidized. Not to mention, some brands even cut their olive oil with other products such as seed oils to stretch a buck and make more profit. Have you even looked at the date the olive oil in your kitchen was produced? Most likely, it's over a year or 2 old. Casandrino's olive oil is different. They own their own farm in Greece, harvest their olives, press the olives, and bottle their extra virgin organic oil all in the same day. They ship it straight to America to arrive at your doorstep as little as 2 weeks from production, so you know you are getting the freshest, cleanest, and highest antioxidant olive oil available. This stuff is like medicine, and you can see and taste the difference in the color when you compare it to other olive oils. So stop buying rancid, oxidized, old olive oil from the store and get the freshest olive oil to benefit your health and make your meals taste 10 times better. Get 25% off if you go to casandrinos.com/digest and use code DIGEST at checkout. You can also click the link in today's show notes, which will automatically apply the 25% off discount. Again, you can go to casandrinos.com/digest and use the code DIGEST. All right, let's cover the basics. What exactly is creatine? So it's a chemical naturally produced by our body, and it's also found in seafood and red meat. It can also be used as a supplement, of course, to improve athletic performance and muscle mass. But don't let that deter you if you're a female and you think that creatine is going to make you, quote, bulk up. That's quite the contrary. Research suggests that adult women can benefit from taking creatine supplements because women tend to naturally have lower amounts in the body than men. And the health benefits for women include supporting hormonal health, cognitive function, bone density, and of course, muscle strength. So let's get into each of these and look at what the studies have shown. So, number one, it does support hormonal transition. So we all want balanced hormones. Am I right? And as women, our hormones are fluctuating all the time. Routine shifts in the sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone, can impact fluctuating creatine levels. However, taking a creatine supplement daily can help increase and maintain those levels and support hormone balance. In one study, female athletes who noticed reduced athletic performance and recovery time during a certain stage of their menstrual cycle benefited from creatine supplements. Researchers believe creatine may curb this decrease by regulating hormone levels. So that's number one. Number two, it helps improve exercise performance. I think that we're all pretty much aware, but I want to still talk about it. So it's pretty known that creatine is an ingredient in most sports nutrition supplements, and it's for good reason because it can improve athletic performance in people who perform high intensity exercise or heavy lifting by increasing available energy in the muscles. It might also support athletic performance by enhancing post exercise recovery and injury prevention. Studies also show that creatine can benefit people who participate in even moderate exercise. These people may experience up to 10 to 20% athletic performance improvement while performing fitness activities like weight training, running, swimming, golfing, and playing volleyball or even ice hockey. I don't know how they determine that, but that's just what the studies say. Ice hockey, that's just interesting to me. Anyways, so there's the misconception that creatine makes you bulk up or look more masculine is a complete myth. The reason this myth came about is because, as I just mentioned, creatine helps increase available energy in the muscles. And when you have more energy in your muscles, they are less fatigued, and therefore, a person can work out harder, longer, lift heavier, and more often. So, creatine is giving you the ability to do more if you want to do more. If you are sedentary or perhaps do yoga or Pilates or even lift, you won't see the bulky results. The bulky results people experience is from feeling more energized to do harder and longer workouts, resulting in more muscle and strength, which is not a bad thing. But if you were to take creatine and continue with your current exercise routine, you may not see a difference, but perhaps just feel a little bit more toned, less fatigued, and have more energy after a workout. And even if you did increase your workouts and intensity, it's really hard to get bulky for women because we just aren't built that way. Those women that you see that look jacked are doing other things and most likely taking hormones and other supplements to achieve that look. So don't worry. Remember, it's already in the food we eat. So you are probably already consuming creatine regularly and just don't realize it. I personally have been taking creatine, 2 scoops of creatine per day, and I feel great without any side effects. And I know I'm going to be asked. I got the creatine Momentous. I found it to be the cleanest out there. I did some research. And so Momentous, I'm sure there's other ones out there. I do have a code. It is Bethany Cameron. And I know that's like a weird code, but it's Bethany, my first name, and then Cameron, my last name, Cameron. And if you use that code, it should get you some sort of a discount. I don't know what the discount is, but I did reach out to the company and told them I was a fan, and they gave me this random code. So there you go. But just make sure it's pure, and Momentous is pure. If you love to cook, bake, or know someone who does, then I'm pretty sure this is for you. Every time I cook eggs in my Instagram stories, my DMs get flooded with questions about the nonstick pan I use to create such perfect eggs. I'm not gatekeeping, I promise. The pans I use are from the company Our Place. I'm sure you've heard of them, but if you haven't, they are a female founded company that creates non toxic cookware and bakeware, as well as cutting boards, tableware, and even an air fryer that looks so stylish sitting on my counter. Their nonstick cookware is made with ceramic, but most importantly, they're made without PFAS, PFOAs, lead, cadmium, and they're also oven safe for up to 450 degrees for all your favorite stovetop to oven recipes. If you're making an effort to buy non toxic food and ingredients, but still cooking and baking with toxic materials, it's time to rethink that strategy because all your good quality food is being prepared in a toxic pan where chemicals are being leached back into your food. I have been obsessed with Our Place and I know you will be too. But if you're not, you can return it within 100 days with free shipping and returns, so you really have nothing to lose. This makes for a great Christmas gift for others and, of course, yourself. If you want to save some money, you know I got you. Just go to FromOurPlace.com and enter my code DIGEST at checkout to receive a discount. That's FromOurPlace.com and use code DIGEST. Now, number three, I want to quickly touch on it can actually help reduce fat. So, creatine helps build muscle mass by increasing the energy in muscle cells. As you guys know, I just mentioned that, right? And it's also decreasing muscle protein breakdown during physical activities like strength training. So, it can help with age related muscle decline, AKA sarcopenia, in people ages 57 to 70. And there was one analysis that found that supplementing with creatine while undergoing resistance training produced greater muscle and upper and lower body strength. Another study showed that women athletes who used creatine supplementation for 5 weeks could increase muscle strength during bench press activities and experienced a greater reduction in body fat than those who took a placebo. So it can help indirectly by decreasing body fat as well. Now, I want to talk about mood and cognitive function. So, we're talking about the brain here. So, they say that daily consumption of creatine for 6 weeks is thought to improve certain aspects of cognitive health, such as executive function, processing speed, balance, mental fatigue, and even your mood. One study showed adults 60 and older who consumed about 1 gram of creatine daily performed higher on a cognitive function performance test. Other research revealed that creatine may help improve short term memory and reasoning in healthy older adults. All right, so there you go. And also, I want to mention number five, it improves bone mineral density. I know this is huge among a lot of females, and I'm glad it's being talked about more. So, bone density is becoming, of course, more of a hot topic these days. And I am just, I'm overjoyed because I think that by the time a lot of people start to pay attention, it's too late. And so if we can bring this topic up early on in life, we can prevent a lot. So um, I think we need to take steps in preventing it as much as we can. And it's so sad to me seeing so many people on Ozempic coming back months later to find out that they now have osteoporosis from only being on Ozempic for a short period of time. Perimenopause and postmenopause women should, of course, also pay attention to their bone health because as we get older, we begin to lose bone density. But you guys, there's good news. There's research out there suggesting that creatine may benefit bone mineral density maintenance, and there's research out there suggesting that creatine may benefit bone mineral density maintenance and strength in postmenopausal people when taken in conjunction with resistance training exercises. Studies show that older female adults who took creatine improved muscle strength with resistance training and bone strength also increases when creatine is paired with exercise, which may counteract bone loss, aka osteoporosis, that is very common in aging women. All right, last but not least, and then we're gonna share a little bit of how you should take it and things that you should not do when you take creatine. I think that's really important as well. But number 6 is it can help curb the effects of short-term sleep deprivation. So interesting. Creatine can help improve the energy levels, which is beneficial when experiencing low energy, fatigue, or temporary sleep deprivation. And there was a 2021 study that showed creatine supplementation helped relieve extreme fatigue after recovering from a viral infection. And of course, while this may not correlate directly with immediately getting better sleep or rest, creatine does show promise for women looking for extra sleep after a particularly sleep deprived night. All right, so when to take creatine and how much? So it's pretty much safe for adults to take it every single day in the recommended doses. And although there is no quote official guidance on a specific time to take creatine, research does suggest that it's most helpful for exercise performance when taken before, during, or immediately after a workout. Now, that's not to say if you can't take it around a workout that you should just forget it altogether. As I mentioned, there's many other benefits for the brain, for sleep, for your mood. And so for that reason, I don't typically take my creatine around my workout. Like I just take it honestly when I make my smoothie. So whatever works for you, I find that taking it at any time is better than taking it or not taking it at all. But that's just my perspective. But I want to also warn you that you should avoid taking creatine with caffeine. The researchers think that the stimulant may interact negatively with the supplement. And I have to agree, there's a lot of stuff floating around the internet right now that you should take creatine with coffee or caffeine, but please do not. You're doing yourself a disservice and possibly putting yourself at risk for health complications. You should always take it with plenty of water as well. So I see many people online just dry scooping this stuff, but be mindful that you need a good amount of water paired with creatine. Okay, so how much creatine should we take? Again, everyone is different. Everyone weighs differently. They're shorter, they're taller, they're bigger, they're smaller. Like we all have different genetics, but as a rule of thumb and for maintenance, doses of between 3 and 5 grams of creatine per day is often recommended. And of course, it's always best to check with a healthcare provider before starting any type of new supplement. I hope today's bite of knowledge was insightful and it piqued your interest. And maybe you already take creatine. Maybe you're taking it with caffeine. Maybe you should stop that. Maybe you've been interested and want to take it for maybe benefits beyond just muscle. Maybe you want to start doing it for your brain just to be a little bit more sharper, your mood, your bones, all that good stuff. Again, Momentous, Bethany Cameron will get you a discount if you go to the Momentous website. But again, if it's not Momentous, just make sure it is a clean brand because a lot of them contain fillers, natural flavors, sugars, or stevia or things like that. So just make sure it's a clean brand, you guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Wellness Loud production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To check out more shows by my team, go to wellnessloud.com, and to email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.
Are you looking to reclaim your health? Tune into the Real Foodology podcast hosted by me, Courtney Swan, integrative nutritionist and real food activist. I am on a mission to transform our food system by challenging the corrupt practices that undermine our health and replace them with choices that genuinely support our well-being. Listen to Real Foodology podcast on your favorite podcast app. New episodes every Tuesday.